The truth about what makes a person get sick. What are the myths? Who started it? And why is it not workable? Why are people more sick than ever? Are bacteria good or bad? How can you brace yourself against getting sick? Studies confirm those same complaints your employees give you when they stay at home sick. Is this contradicting your basic purpose to try and grow your company and produce massively? When you need someone most, they often unexpectedly dramatize illness and promptly stay at home while all the other busy staff in your office have to scatter and pick up the slack. Knowing the truth will make you more at cause over sick leave. Randomly bulking your production in your company. Employees will know 1. How to strengthen their immune system, 2. When are antibiotics beneficial, what is the bad stuff that makes you sick and what are the good stuff that make you well. Also, how to set oneself up to win and be able to control destiny, make your job fun, get excitement and feel good. The biggest myth, germs make you sick. Has it ever happened to you that you went out for dinner with a family or a friend or a couple of people and somebody got food poisoning, vomiting and spending half the night on the toilet with diarrhea and stomach cramps? Everyone ate the same food, yet not everybody got sick. If it was only the contaminated food, why didn't the germs affect the others? Let's look at this whole germ scare we all grew up with. Antonie van Leeuwenhoek, he was the first to observe bacteria under a microscope in 1676. He built himself this tiny little microscope, but it worked. Then Louis Pasteur came up with his germ theory in 1860 as an explanation for getting sick. And eventually Sir Alexander Fleming, he made this magic bullet called penicillin to kill bacteria in 1928. So about almost 300 years went by and the world declared war against germs. And so many industries then geared up and got themselves ready to make the big bucks. Germs became the feared invisible enemy that had to be eliminated. If it was true that germs are a real problem, then at least you would expect that with antibiotic prescriptions at an all-time high, more vaccines used than ever before, and prolific use of antibacterial soaps and hand sanitizers, that people should be healthier than ever before. How do we then explain that in 1960 only 2% of Americans had a chronic disease, and today in 2019 more than 50% of Americans receive treatment for a chronic disease of some kind for which mainstream medicine has no cure? How many people work for your company? 1 out of 5 will get cancer, 1 out of 6 will get a heart attack, 1 out of 7 will develop high blood pressure or diabetes. 8 out of every 10 already has some digestive problem or depression or anxiety that is reducing their productivity right under your nose in your office. Clearly, if germs were the problem, people would be much better shape than they are currently, because since there's been a war for 100 years against germs. On the contrary, chronic diseases are at an all-time high. Employees are suffering health and issues of health at even a lower and lower age. Bacteria. Let's look at the facts about bacteria. More than 1 million different species of bacteria have been documented, which only about 100 of them are pathogenic bacteria and can kill you. The other 999,900 species are all buddies and they keep us alive. Welcome to the friendly world of bacteria. A gram of soil has more than 40 million bacteria in it. A milliliter of river water has like 1 million bacteria. And wait for it, one of the dirtiest places on earth is your mouth. No pun intended, but yeah, you could swear a little less. There's like 100 billion bacteria in each milliliter. Okay, let the truth be known. Your body has about 2 pounds of microorganisms in it and on it. Yes, accounting for more than 100 trillion germs. And guess what? You need them badly to keep you alive. The trillions of germs in your body do a lot of important work. They help with digestion, your immunity, defense, vitamin manufacturing, nutrient activation, fermentation, detoxing, DNA transference, neurotransmitters, hormones, and other crucial functions. The problem is not too many germs, the problem is too few germs. Your immune system. To be healthy, to be healthy and ward off germs and illness, it is crucial to strengthen your immune system and your microbiomes, which is a very delicate ecosystem inside you. Micro means small and bio means life. So this is your microbiome, like a collection of trillions of microscopic organisms living in and on your body and in your mouth, your gut, your armpits, your skin, vagina, anywhere. There's all these different species living there. These thousands of different bacteria, they play an important role in your immune system. These good bacteria can protect you from the bad, life-threatening pathogenic bacteria and viruses and other microorganisms that can trigger disease. The truth is that the only real way to prevent getting sick is to strengthen your immune system. Everybody else gives you gimmicks that fool you into believing that you are doing something wrong. Those will not bring any results. Germs are your buddies, your minions. You need them. In fact, you can't live without them. Stop the war against our friends and we shall live happily ever after. A UK workers' poll in the United Kingdom, of course, 2,500 employees, revealed that vomiting was the 75% reason for staying at home sick. Diarrhea followed at 71%, and flu came third at 59% of the reason people stayed at home. Let's look. These are all consequences of a weak immune system. So what practical actions can you take to strengthen your immune system so that you're not in bed with every little bug that comes around? Preventing illness goes beyond merely just preventing the odd cough, diarrhea, vomiting, or that winter cold. What simple steps can you take to build your immune system and stay healthy? Not just in the short term, but in the long run. Boost your immune system with our Compass strategy. Number one, most people believe that germs cause disease and that the best way to avoid getting contaminated is by using antibacterial soaps, sanitizers and cleaning materials. So at first you may be shocked by what I'm going to tell you, but the first step to boosting your immune system, yet it's an important step. Bacteria are believed to be bad and put you at risk for disease, right or wrong? As you've seen earlier, that's not exactly true. There are few bad bacteria and there are predominantly good bacteria on our planet. When your immune system is strong, it will take care of the bad bacteria without you even noticing it. Whereas if you're damaging your immune system in an effort to kill the bad bacteria, you're basically handicapping the good army whose job it is to fight the war for you. Antibacterial sanitizers, soaps and cleaning materials are a chemical toxin, and those toxins weaken your immune system. Chemical toxins are poisons even in the tiniest dose. A poison is a substance with inherent property that impairs health and destroys life. Get rid of sanitizers, stop sterilizing with toxins. Those alcohols and disinfectants may slowly kill you, or otherwise they might even give you cancer as a bonus. Yes, poisons kill, slow or fast, but all they do is destroy life. There are some powerful poison lessons to be learned. Let's look at, for instance, 10 deaths in the Shakespeare plays of Hamlet, King Lear, Romeo and Juliet, Antony and Cleopatra, Richard II and Henry VI. Yes, in those plays, poisons makes you dead. There are most toxins to be avoided, but stopping the use of sanitizers and disinfectants is a good place to start. So secondly, it is sad to see how doctors today prescribe antibiotics like it's candy. If you have any slightest suspicion of inflammation, they will simply prescribe you antibiotics. A concerned mum once came to my office, wanted to have a fit-in for a little curly-haired boy on a Monday morning, said they waited for 5 hours in the emergency room over the weekend. He had earache and a fever. The doctor came eventually, was very rushed and just prescribed him antibiotics. He was worse, so they came to my office and I said, get on the bed. Mum said, well, the other doctor didn't examine him. I said, well, let's do a good job. I looked in the ear, lo and behold, there was a peanut in the ear. So I flushed out the peanut, took out the debris and sent him home without the need of any, redundant antibiotics. And he got better very, very soon. Yes, anything suspect of infection, they will give you antibiotics for it. So do you know what antibiotics actually are? Anti means against and bio means life. So antibiotics are powerful chemicals that kill life. In some rare situations, it may be very necessary to kill bad bacteria to prevent them from killing you. But yet, in the majority of cases, antibiotics, they cause more harm than what they do good. because they're killing life inside you. The good bacteria that help your body survive, the good bacteria that build up your immune system, that help you digest food, that make your vitamins and prevent the bad bacteria from growing inside your body. Those are the ones they kill. So guess what? Basically what you're doing is, in order to bump off a couple of bad enemy troops, you eradicate your entire army with those antibiotics. And that will take months to recover again, as if a fire had swept through your internal ecosystem of minions and factory workers. Your good bacteria, if you do this a couple of times, you will get more and more symptoms, and you get more and more sickly because your immune system gets weaker and weaker every time you take antibiotics. You kill the soldiers and your body gets less and less resilient. You kill off the factory, the workers. Yes, you, your mom, your doctor, the food industry, you're all guilty. You're killing the good guys. What is the solution? Avoid taking antibiotics whenever you can. Don't let your doctor prescribe you antibiotics for every little cough, sneeze or ache. If it seems that you have a bacterial infection that maybe needs treatment, insist on a laboratory test so they can diagnose what is really going on and if there is a bacterial infection that needs antibiotics. They do a culture at the lab, and that determines A, if there's bacteria or if it's just a viral infection, and exactly what antibiotics you need to use, and B, which antibiotic will be the most appropriate, because they can determine that in the lab. Don't take antibiotics lightly just because it's a quick way for your doctor to get you out the door, believing that you'll be getting better soon with your prescription. Not all your bacteria are bad. In fact, your body needs the good bacteria, and they perform very important functions. Don't kill the good guys. If the lab results show that you have bad bacterial infection that requires antibiotic treatment, well, then do everything you can to establish good bacteria back in your body again. So like a quick and easy solution is taking good probiotic supplements. Pro means for and bios means life. In other words, supplements that restores life. A good probiotic has multiple strains of live bacteria that replenishes the ones that have been killed by the antibiotics. Most probiotics from the pharmacy contain only one strain of beneficial bacteria, and that strain has been genetically modified so that the company who manufactures it can patent it, and they can control the sales and the distribution. We're talking here, probiotics is of course yogurt and kefir and all those good bacteria that your body needs inside. There is another, even more powerful way to restore life and build your immune system, which is important to do whether you've taken antibiotics or not. Let's see how you can do this. Number 3, the war against germs. It isn't only taking place in the medical world, sadly, it's also influencing the food industry, and both are making a lot of money from it. While you and I are paying with our health and sometimes even with our lives. Bad, eh? Yeah, the food industry isn't concerned with your health or your well-being, and it was sort of an eye-opener for me when I discovered that the government, they don't care either. For some reason, I'd always believed that the food industry regulated to protect us citizens. Once I sort of started researching how many toxins they actually permit in our food, I was shocked. In order to make food last longer on the shelf, serious poisons are added to kill any bacteria that would even come close to rotting the food. So they call this preservatives, which kind of makes it sound, pro-survival, but when you feast on these big name chemicals, guess what happens? It also kills all the good bacteria in your gut, and as a bonus, it also poisons your body. As a result, you can get like indigestion, allergens, hypertension, and many other health problems. I'm sure you wouldn't let anybody put Coca-Cola in your car instead of gasoline. Are you paying attention to what you're putting into your delicate biological body machine? Yeah, the difference is that your car would break down immediately, while your body is so resilient that it will take like a long time and many years before your doctor breaks some bad news to you eventually that you've got some dreaded disease as a consequence of these chemicals. A breakdown is inevitable. It's just a matter of time in your body from these toxins. When you think about a healthy lifestyle, as eating more salad and vegetables, it may come to mind, but even though that is a good idea, what is even more important for your health, and specifically for strengthening your immune system, is what you stop. You must stop eating and drinking bad stuff, like dyes, preservatives, emulsifiers, heavy metals, pesticides, insecticides, herbicides and all these other chemical toxins with unpronounceable names, don't put them into your mouth. Chemical toxins are all poison, even in the tiniest dose. Poisons kill life. The chemical toxins were developed to kill anything that may live in food, but they reduce your life slowly too. So number one, food labels. Start by carefully reading labels, and if you don't understand an ingredient, Google it. That way you can make sure that you have a conscious choice to stay away from chemical toxins that harm you, replacing processed foods by whole foods. It's much more nutritious, more flavorful and enjoyable. You'll discover that it's actually simple, and you'll feel more energized and alive. Number two, food chemicals. Gradually switch to eating organic. Most people are concerned about the higher cost of organic food, which is understandable when you look at the surface of things and you compare an organic apple with a regular apple. But when you factor in the long-term costs of actually being sickly, then organic apple is really way cheaper. Just like you wouldn't put the cheapest watered down oil in your car because you know it'll cost you more in repairs than it will save you up front. It's not worth it. The same is for your body. The proper care of your body now, and you'll prevent many problems in the future. So realize that organic is not the same as healthy. So don't stop doing number one. Do it. For example, you could buy organic canola oil. Canola oil is GMO, genetically modified organisms, and arguably one of the worst seed oils you can ever use. But even though some canola oil is organic, it is still genetically modified, and studies have proven it's harmful. So don't eat that stuff just because it's organic. Number three, smoking and alcohol. Avoid toxins that damage your immune system and your body. This one is nothing new, yet training wouldn't be complete if I didn't mention this. Quit smoking. I know and appreciate that it's easier said than done, and maybe you've tried to quit and failed a couple of times in the past, but we have a tailor-made program to stop smoking, so we can help you. Stop drinking alcohol, or at least limit it to a few times a month. Alcohol is a product of bad bacteria that ferment sugars, and those alcohols kill good bacteria. Number four, sugar craving is likely not the first time that you've heard of alcohol, sugar, and carbohydrates that are bad for you. The problem is that these additions are like a vicious cycle. The sugar feeds the bad guys inside of you, and this creates cravings for sugar, carbs, and alcohol. It means you have more bad than good bacteria inside you. And you also have a large population of parasites if you're getting these food cravings. That's like a manifestation. They are basically demanding, the bad bugs, that you feed them. Much like a begging dog next to your dinner table, except these microscopic little critters are crawling inside you. The best solution is to do the Compass Vital Parasite Cleanse. Number four, eat live food. Instead of feeding your parasites and the bad bacteria with sugar, cultivate the good bacteria by eating fermented food like sauerkraut, kimchi, and yogurt, and drinking healthy drinks like kombucha, kefir, and water kefir. The best way to populate your gut is with thousands of different strains of probiotics that it needs, and try varying it and combining the probiotics, drinks, and foods that you consume. For thousands of years, our forefathers were pickling, sprouting, and fermenting foods so they would have vegetables throughout the year. Those good bacteria prevent the bad bacteria from growing and intruding in your food source and making the food rot. Since the first manufacturing of the refrigerator about 100 years ago, the art of fermentation is redundant, no longer practiced by the majority of society, which combined with an overload of toxins that kill the good bacteria, it plays a massive role in your cellular stress right throughout your body. This is the root cause of the epidemic of chronic disease. Another cool benefit of fermentation is that it pre-digests your food so that when you eat the food and it lands inside your gut, the nutrients are ready for instantly absorbing and nourishing your body. It's like superfood that you're creating. Okay, even though you can buy sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, kefir, kvass, pickles, miso, kombucha in the store. It's much better to make your own at home. It's simple, it's quick, it's cheap, and if you buy commercially pasteurized or preservatives added to extend the shelf life, all good bacteria are killed and you miss out on the huge benefit of those live foods as they are now all dead. Just imagine what it would be like to feel good all day long. No bloating, no stomach aches, no headaches, no pains, no discomforts, and more energy to do the job well and to enjoy life. Following the principles above will strengthen your immune system so you can withstand the next flu bug. And what's more, you can set yourself up to the path of vital health instead of the path to chronic disease and suffering. Is your body valuable and precious enough that you should take proper care of it? Or do you want to wait until suffering, pain, discomfort, and eventually all these bad things become one of the morbid statistics and you're not there anymore? If there are 50% of people working in your department, 10 of you will get cancer. The question is, will it be you? There's much you can do to turn the odds in your favor when you start making changes today. There's one more important aspect that we haven't covered yet. I've left it for last, as I know for some people it may be a little hard to swallow and who want to pretend that the disease simply happened to you and that when you're fatigued, it's your body, not really you. It may seem easier because it would mean that you are not responsible, that there's a greater exterior circumstances or a cause that is making you feel a certain way. The truth is that the other way around is what really happens, because when you're willing to take responsibility for your health and for your life, you can be in control, and it means that you can cause what happens, cause over the situation rather than the effect of your circumstances. We've looked at several things you can do to improve your health and take excellent care of your body as your vehicle. Let's have a look at the driver, you. How can you create health and happiness? Have you ever seen a passionate person, somebody who truly loves what he does, maybe a top athlete, an artist, a musician, or an entrepreneur? Did you notice that they're always enthusiastic, invigorated, and bubbling with energy? They will work around the clock if needed, and nobody's stopping them from doing what they love. They are on purpose, they have dreams, they know where they're going, and also they make every step of the journey fun. What if you could take charge of your destiny? What if you can create joy in your job? What if you could live life in excitement? Just imagine how great you would feel. When you were a little girl or a boy, did you ever watch in awe how a speed cop on a motorcycle drove by and you thought a cop was like the coolest thing ever? And has it happened that like 30 years later you annoyingly saw a cop in your rearview mirror, and when he finally pulls you over for speeding you were exasperated? What changed? Still a cop on a motorcycle. What changes? Your consideration, your viewpoint, and that determines how you perceive the cop. The same is true for your life, and this will have an impact on your health. If you've lost your dreams and you're suffering through life, feeling stuck in your job and you're just showing up to collect your paycheck, you are selling yourself short. You are damaging your company, your family, and most importantly yourself. It can be that you feel beaten up by life, that you've had losses and disappointments, and eventually decided that it would be better to accept things the way they are. Misinformed friends may also be saying to you that you should sleep more, or warning you that you're going to get burnout and suggest that you should take another holiday. None of that will solve the underlying problem. Fatigue is the manifestation or the result of, and not the source of the problem. You feel tired because you have a failed purpose or no purpose at all. But what if? What if you could reignite your purpose? What if you could find a way to create new dreams and overcoming the obstacles towards attaining new and exciting goals? Wouldn't that make your life so much more worthwhile and so much more fun? Yeah? When you're on purpose and when you have dreams, when you know where you're going, like every step of the journey, it can be fun. You wake up in the morning energized and excited to create a new amazing day because your life has meaning. You know exactly where you're going, and it makes you feel alive. You are the one creating health and happiness by overcoming obstacles on your way towards your goals. This is your opportunity to overcome any symptoms you may have, strengthen your immune system, and walk the path to vital health. This is your chance to move away from sick days into an elevated way of living a life filled with joy and happiness, meaningful because you contribute to the success of your company while on purpose and making every step of the journey fun. Thank you for attending with me today. Be the change you want to see in the world and your company. That is quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Opt in now to schedule a personal consult so we can determine and discuss how we can help you and be of value in your life. Thank you very much.